ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು ಜೆ.ಪಿ. ನಗರದಿಂದ ಬಂದ್ವಿ. ಕನಕಪುರದ ಹತ್ರ ಜಗತಿ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ನೋಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದ್ವಿ.
We are here at Saptashwa Developers property.
The very next moment I felt like we were about to take a site or a plot.
So both of us have a passion, and then we come and sweat out mostly Friday to Saturday or Saturday to Sunday.
In a fast-moving world, people are searching for something real and peaceful.
So today we are here at one of our project with Dr. Soni, owner of a managed farmland property. Hello sir.
Hello.
So we would like to know about how you felt the experience about our Saptashwa Developers and managed farmland.
That's nice. And in fact, this particular property I liked very much. I'll tell you all the reasons why I like this particular property. And honestly speaking, let me answer your question in a little longer route, because let me answer you at the very beginning why the managed farmland. Of course, we all are passionate about the nature, the serenity living around us, you know, the hustling noise of the sounds of the those leaves, the birds chirping, etc. But you know, the problem is where to own it, how to own it. That's the biggest problem with all of us. To eradicate those problems, this managed farmland as a concept has come up, wherein it provides a lot of security, I would say the assurity of the land ownership, in fact the water, electricity, road, infrastructure, everything. And that's where the managed farmland concept is evolving. And in fact, I must appreciate this kind of concept in Karnataka especially. Now let me answer your second part of the question, why this particular property. As I mentioned to you, what you need in case of the farmland, the very important thing is the water, good soil, good ambience and infrastructure. Fifth part that I must say here is the network connectivity. Of course, all the 5 elements that are required to sustain in a living eco space, everything we get here. So thanks to the developer and thanks to this project that we got most of the things here. And of course, the time will tell us how well it will be managed. But so far, I think it's going good. I wish the best to the project.
Thank you so much sir. And we do have few questions to put across. What made you choose this farmland project?
Indeed, as I partially answered in the first part, you know, the team that we have, you know, including the marketing team, when I was browsing through various farmland projects, in fact, I came across, all were doing good, but just that they were at quite nascent stage. I would not say this project is at very advanced state, but actually the developing phase. And in fact, the kind of effort the team is putting, I must appreciate. You know, starting from the way they take the customer, they answer the queries of the customer in a quite transparent way. Most of the time you would come across the marketing team who present a rosy picture in front of you, but on the ground reality you won't find much of them. But here I must say, to a great extent, this is aligned. Whatever our expectations are and whatever commitment that were given to us, I would name the people, you know, starting from Mr. Arun, and in fact you, Mr. Manoj, I still remember that you took us to the land, and that was our dream part when we saw the sunset from the land, as you remember well. And in fact, you said the sentence to us, where you are standing, you can own it, and in fact we did it. So yes, thank God and thanks to you, your team. And of course, after ownership, you know, the kind of management effort the people are putting here, I must name Mr. Sumant, who is putting a lot of effort to maintain and make the land greener and greener day by day. So very good. So these are the factors I think that account a lot for me.
Welcome. And what was your first impression when you visited the project?
As I mentioned, again, I think I am answering all the question in advance. So
yeah.
As I mentioned to you that, you know, when I look at the sunset and the greenery around me, when I heard the peacock making sounds, that is it. And you know, there are some elements that you cannot define and that you cannot put in a verbiage form, but you can feel it. And in fact, just imagine a situation, you are coming from listening to the honking horns in the city, in the heavy traffic. After that, you took maybe, you know, a small diversion and went inside the Kanakapura, little interior of it, and then you heard the bird chirping, you heard the leaves rustling, you heard that the real noise, the real sense of the nature, and that is it that made me stick to this land. Simple.
Nice. And were you looking for an investment or a weekend getaway or both?
That is indeed a good question. In fact, I do not have real answer to this question as of now. In fact, when I discussed with my wife, Mrs. Rashmi Soni, she was very much passionate about acquiring such kind of farmland. In fact, she has the dream to build a kind of weekend getaway homes. That's certainly a first thing. But coming from a little upper middle class of the cult of India, I must say that initially, of course, the weekend getaway is something that we were looking for. At least she was looking for. I did not have that kind of foresightedness, but yes, thanks to her. Now I do see that yes, that happening, but for us it may take some time because things are yet to come, the setup are yet to be built up, etc. I mean it's a long way to go, but coming to the investment part, yes, to some extent. But here one has to keep in mind, it is just my personal experience that as far as appreciation values are concerned, let us not compare the appreciation of any farmland with respect to the other kind of diverted plot or industrial land or residential plot for that matter. The important thing here to mention here is that it's an immovable property. So you will own it and it is not something that is going to soon depreciate. True. So I would answer other way around. It is not depreciating for sure, if not appreciating much. True. Definitely, it is a fixed asset. It is an immovable property. It is a tangible asset that you can own, with which you can force it to some extent of appreciation. But of course, if you want to make a good life for yourself, whatever what we call the rest of the life as a best of life, so this is the kind of concept that I look for.
Nice. And the last question, would you recommend this property to your friends, family, and if it's so, why?
Right. Again, a good question. Thanks, Manoj, for asking that. Let me put it like this. So it depends on completely the aspirations. Definitely, I can recommend this thing to a lot based on my experience of about a year time associated with you. Of course, as I mentioned to you, there's a lot of transparency that you guys bring in. There's a lot of effort that you guys are putting in. But again, that depends on personal choice and because we all have limited resource, be it in terms of money, in terms of time. So those are limited to us. Now, if one wants to have a choice to make a peaceful life and away from the hustle bustle of the density and come out of that and live with the nature, then definitely this is the place. And as far as my part of recommendation is concerned, definitely as a farmland, I recommend everyone, if you have a surplus fund, if you can manage and if you can little stretch a bit to spend some portion of your money to such kind of immovable property, you must go for the managed farmland. That is first thing. Important thing, as I mentioned at the beginning, infrastructure, road, electricity, water, mobile network. If 5 elements are there, you must go for it. Not just telling that this particular project, for that matter any project, but this particular project has that unique aspect which I explained to you in terms of be it marketing team, in terms of the management that they are putting effort to. Of course, this is a long way to go. I'm not telling that everything is done here. There's a long way to go, but I must at this stage, I must say that people are putting effort. So that way, as far as farmland as a concept, I would have to recommend, definitely is a big yes to everyone, to all the upper middle class guys, because this adds a lot of value to your not just property but to the life. That is first thing. Second thing, of course, project wise many are doing good, even this is also doing good. But when I look personally in front of my eyes, in front, whenever we come, almost every weekend we are coming to see to our plant, because very recently we have grown many plantation and there are some maintenances that have to be looked after, that have to be done. So yes, so that way I think this particular project is doing good. There's a long way to go, but I wish best to the team and thanks for all the great effort, Mr. Manoj.
Thank you so much, sir.